Hey, it's Matt, and today we're here to talk about Lester Dine's LED backlight panel. Now, a common question we get all the time is this. I've got a great camera system, takes beautiful portraits, but whenever I take my picture, I've got a shadow behind my patient's head. This is something that can happen with your most expensive cameras and your least expensive camera systems. When you take a photo, the flash coming from your camera, part of it is being blocked by your patient's head, creating that shadow effect. The only way to eliminate that shadow is by having some form of lighting behind the patient's head. So we've created an LED light panel. This is a very, very thin panel that hangs on your wall, very much like a picture. It produces enough light to completely eliminate shadowing behind the patient's head. It's controlled by remote, so the panel is on when you need it, off when you don't need it. Today I'm going to show you how that panel works with the two most popular types of clinical cameras. We've got our single lens reflex camera as well as our point and shoot camera system. This panel works great for a wide variety of clinical photographers, from orthodontists and dentists to plastic surgeons to cosmetic surgeons and dermatologists. This thin lighting panel is going to work great in your office. The first camera system we're going to talk about today is the single lens reflex camera. First and foremost, the most important thing is settings. You want to make sure your camera is set correctly. We recommend you shoot all of your photos in aperture priority. On Nikon cameras, that's the A mode on the dial on top of your camera. On Canons, it's represented by AV. We recommend a shutter speed of 1/200th of a second. ISOs will vary a little bit depending upon the camera system, but you want to be in the 100 to 200 range in your ISO. And of course, f-stop. F-stop is the key for portraits. You want to make sure you're set to f8 on all of your portrait pictures. On the Lester Dine camera, we offer you an option of ring flash or point flash. We recommend you choose point flash when you're taking your portrait pictures. So now I'm going to show you how we take that photo. For single lens reflex cameras, I'm going to have my subject stand about 18 inches in front of the panel. I'm going to hold my camera at the distance I would traditionally take my portrait. It'll vary from camera to camera, lens from lens. Here with a 90mm macro lens, I'm about 4.5 feet away from the subject. I'm then going to hold my camera vertically with my point flash placed at about the 2 o'clock position. I then look through my camera and take my picture. Now we're looking at point and shoot camera systems. When you're looking at the Dine digital solution, that camera is preset. So you're going to turn it to the C2 mode on the camera to take your portraits. Again, you have the patient stand about 18 inches away from the panel. With the Dine digital solution, you're going to hold that about 3 feet away from the patient. If your camera normally requires you to be further away from the patient, you can move further. You're basically going to use the same distance you normally use for your camera. So now I'm just going to once again turn my camera on, zoom in and frame my subject, top of the head to middle of the neck, and take the picture. And that's the process for using those cameras.